We used to see maybe 100 people walking along the wall and they'd stop and get food here. Now, if you see one or two people, it's a lot.
My friend called me, why you don't want to come to United States? This is, you have a freedom, you can live your life.
The Democrats are giving illegal immigrants free housing, free medical, free education. It's not right that they're giving all these things to illegal immigrants when Americans need to help.
That's to keep people from putting gasoline or some kind of poison in the tank.
Why would people want to do that?
Because they hate. I call them haters. It's really sad.
Come over the first barrier wall you see down the back from Tijuana to the area.
美国总统选举倒数最后2周，每到选举总离不开一个备受争议的课题——移民。
When I win on November 5th, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins.
Even though Donald Trump tried to sabotage the border security bill, it is my pledge to you that as President of the United States, I will bring it back up and proudly sign it into law.
2021年至2023年间，每年非法入境美国的人数平均达200万人，加重了执法和司法体系的负担。即使拜登政府采取限制措施后，非法入境人数大大减少，但美国社会对于应该在多大程度上接受这些外来者，分歧仍不断加深。采访团队直击与墨西哥接壤的亚利桑那州，这里也是来届选举的关键票仓之一。我们随人道主义援助组织前往边境，了解实地情况。我们从亚利桑那州的南部城市图森开车差不多2个小时，顶着42摄氏度的大热天，来到了美国和墨西哥的边境。那大家可以看到，我身后这面墙就是在特朗普主政时期建起的边界围墙。
Today, they only picked up 20 people this morning at the end of the wall. And I can't remember the countries they were from, Mexico and Guatemala and India, I think. But those numbers have really dropped from what they were before because Biden's rules have really taken effect. They went from like maybe 500 a day to 0 or 20 people a day.
极端的沙漠气候里，不少入境者不惜冒生命危险，在美国找到栖身之所，不少人更在途中断送性命。救援组织定期在沙漠放置水桶和救济物资，但这些救济物资不时遭到右翼组织破坏。And I see you have like a lock over here.
Yeah, that's to keep people from putting gasoline or some kind of poison in the tank.
Why would people want to do that?
Because they hate the people. I call them haters. You would only put something to try to kill somebody if you hate them, I guess.
对于人道主义者来说，其实难民来到美国，他们只是想要寻求更安定的生活。但对于反对移民政策的人来说，他们觉得不应该拿纳税人的钱去补贴通过不合法途径进入美国的外国人。那就如一面墙，它划分了2国的边界。那围绕移民政策的辩论，也其实像一面墙，把美国的社会分化成了不同的阵营。
So you grill it?
Yeah, you grill it a little bit.
Okay.
After that, put it out.
到亚利桑那难民中心上英语课，是穆哈默现在的日常活动。
My name is Mohammed. I'm from West Africa.
穆哈默来自西非国家毛里塔尼亚，因为国内族群关系紧张，自己的安全受到威胁。他在去年9月离开了家乡，踏上漫长征程，要奔赴美国，开启新生活。
I lent money for my friends because to come here. Just I go one night. I came to my country. In the night, I fly to Turkish, and after that, Turkish, Bogota, San Salvador, Guatemala, and after that, Nicaragua. When I came in the Nicaragua, it's very hard because you want to go to the. Sometimes you walk, sometimes you get a car. It's very hard to me. But when I came in the border to Tijuana, you have the migration here. The migration get everyone and go to the place. I stay 5 days with the immigration, and after that, the immigration give me the papers. I have appointment to the lawyer.
由于还在等候当局批准他的社保资格，穆哈默暂时不能合法受雇。How is life in Arizona so far?
No, life in Arizona, it's not very easy, you know. But sometimes you have more people you help you, and you have the refugee to this office. You help everyone, you know. You help you to get the food, you know, and they help you to come to the English class to learn free. But just I want to work, because when you live, you want to pay the rent. But he do it nice for me because I can get my social and find it a work.
亚利桑那民众对于移民政策的看法两极化，有民主党选民认为，受理庇护申请的程序必须改进，才能更及时和彻底地完成审核。
I think they're people just trying to live their lives and get by and support their families. I mean, I don't ever ask anyone's immigration status. It doesn't matter to me if a person is documented or undocumented. I think that they deserve to be treated as a person.
Would immigration be something that weighs on your mind when you go to the vote in come November?
Definitely. I think that it needs to be considered, and I'm eager to learn a little bit more about Harris's views and policies as she sees moving forward, because I think that Trump's views and policies are ones of hate and not really conducive to an effective reform of immigration.
这名保守党支持者则认为，非法入境者构成安全隐患。
I have nothing against immigrants as long as they come here legally. Do it the right way. But the way the Democrats have opened up the borders, they're just letting everybody and anybody in. They're letting in cartel, they're letting in criminals, they're letting in mentally ill, they're letting in terrorists. You know, they're not doing background checks on the people coming in. They're just letting them in. I have a problem with that. Also, the Democrats are giving illegal immigrants free housing, free medical, free education. And here I have my daughter who's working, but she makes too much money to qualify for those benefits, but she makes too little to afford her own home. So she and her daughter have to live with me. And it's not right that they're giving all these things to illegal immigrants when Americans need to help.
It's not just to come and take jobs. It's not to come and bring drugs. That's been disproven. A lot of people believe that the vast majority of drugs coming into the United States are coming from illegal immigrants. And that has been proven to be false. It's coming through Mexico, yes, but by US citizens, not by immigrants, the vast majority. And I think it comes down to misinformation. They don't understand, because the immigration system in the United States has been broken for decades and decades. And it's so complicated to understand.
They think they're all, you know, criminals, or the rhetoric that is heard on from even our presidential candidates. It taints who immigrants really are. And people are ignorant enough to listen to it. And so I feel like it's an uphill battle to change people's minds and about what immigrants really do for our country.